I know you've heard 1,000 times, don't judge a book by its cover. But what most people fail to see is that when we're tired and burnt out, and in this dopamine addicted reality, we need to learn the hard way how to view things for what they are, for what they could be, in a state of survival mode. How many amazing things have we thrown away because they didn't deliver in the first 5 minutes? When the trailer in your head is better than the real thing feels worse than it is. That's why first impressions lie. In games, in life, everywhere. This is patience, the hidden half of grit. Take your time, give it a first shot. It will change what you see. I remember bouncing off one of the hardest and goated games of all time, Mega Man 2. I tried it again as an adult after downloading it from my classics library on the PlayStation. I was tired and hungry, expecting nostalgia fireworks. Instead, I got clunky menus and 3 deaths in the first 3 screens. I quit and told myself there was no way I could enjoy this. Then, a week later, I gave it another shot. Different headspace, fresh energy. Suddenly, the mechanics clicked. The purpose unfolded. The fun wasn't hidden, it just needed time to show itself. I was 8 years old again, thinking nothing was impossible. Just hit reset and go. You know, after so many different positions I've been forced into, trying to convince myself life could be as pretty as some people see it, and not just a constant flux of hate and stupidity, and on top of all that, developers selling me an unfinished game with a day one patch. Patience became survival. Not wasting my time, but learning how to wait it out. So, a mix of practical thinking and even randomly reading about a 333 rule in adopting rescue dogs pushed me into a mentality I didn't expect. Patience as a real tool. We'll come back to the random 333 comment. When we imagine something, a game, a new job, even a restaurant, we build a trailer in our heads. It's fast, exciting, perfectly edited, but reality is slower, messier. Waiting in line, no AC, pretentious menus. And when reality doesn't match the highlight reel, we punish it. We say the game sucks, the job is boring, the service is trash. But the truth is, it was a trailer that lied. And here's the catch. You're not just judging the thing, you're judging yourself using it for the first time. Think about those moments in shooters when you swear you pulled the trigger and you saw a hit marker, but no kill and you died, so you need to see the kill cam. Yeah, I get it, man. Early deaths, confusing mechanics, bad runs. Maybe that's not the game being broken. Maybe that's you not knowing how to play yet. I've been guilty of it hundreds of times. I've ranted that a game was garbage or being hyperbolic in a group chat, thinking that they're all in context, when in reality, I just hadn't given it enough time. One thing kept ringing in the back of my head in these situations looking back at them. Our verdict depends heavily on our state. We're tired, hungry, stressed, distracted. A game that feels tedious after a long workday can feel incredible on a Saturday morning with coffee. The product hasn't changed. We did. But because we don't separate the two, we attach the verdict to the thing itself. So how do we grow past that? In games, I use what I call the 10-run or 10-hour rule. Don't judge until you've given it at least 10 honest runs or 10 solid hours. It might sound like a chore, I know. And why, you ask? Because there are phases you always go through. The first 3 runs are pure chaos. They're tutorials disguised as failure. You don't know the buttons, the patterns, the cheap tricks. Expect to die early. This isn't wasted time. This is setup. The next 3 runs, the conversation starts. You begin to recognize enemies, spot patterns, and know the difference between your mistake and bad luck. Your brain shifts from chaos to strategy. The last 3 runs, you finally taste the real game. You know enough to execute strategies, see synergies, maybe even get your first win. Whether you love it or hate it now, your verdict is about the game, not your confusion. Run number 10, welcome to the game. For me, Hades is the perfect example of this. It drew me in right away for its fantastic art style and speed from the very beginning. But my first few runs felt overwhelming. Deaths felt random, unbalanced. But by run 10, I realized the beauty was in the synergies, the way boons stacked across floors. What felt like randomness was actually depth. 10 runs gave me glasses. A true masterpiece. Outside of games, I use something I call the 3-3-3 rule. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. Granted, for some people, 3 days can be 3 weeks, and 3 weeks can be 3 months. We don't have to share the same pace, but the stages are always incredibly similar. Day 1 is noise, setup, clumsiness, annoyance. You're logging in, figuring out tools, or just nervous. Of course it feels bad. Day 2, signal starts. You're still clumsy, but now you glimpse what it could be. The software feels smoother, the routine makes sense. Not easy yet, but the blueprint is on the horizon. Day 3, you're stable enough to decide. Not an expert, but you know whether to keep, adjust, or let it go. You've moved from reacting to noise to actually seeing signal. When I first immigrated to the United States, my first job wasn't creative at all. I was a grill cook at Charlie's Grilled Subs. Day 1, I wanted to walk out. Day 3, I realized everyone burns themselves. Everyone drops meat. Everyone's arms hurt. Week 3, I knew the menu by heart and anticipated what people wanted. By month 3, I was running the grill, making decisions, controlling the pace. 3 days to survive, 3 weeks to adapt, 3 months to own it. That's patience. So how do we actually make patience practical? I get it. No one has time for any of this BS. But let's say you can start by sandboxing your opinions. Instead of saying, this game is trash, try, this is me getting my feet wet. The small shift leaves space to change your mind. Pay attention to context. Were you tired? Distracted? Don't confuse your state with the thing itself. Shrink the unit. If an hour feels overwhelming, commit to just 15 minutes or a single run. Patience builds in smaller bites. Then, score the curve instead of the moment. Ask yourself, did it feel better this time than the last one? If it's improving, keep going. If it's flat, maybe it's time to let go. And finally, default to curiosity. Swap the question, do I like this? For, is it bringing me value? What is the intention? That shift turns frustration into discovery. Now, let's get one thing absolutely clear. Patience doesn't mean martyrdom. Some things aren't worth 10 runs or 3 days. If a game disrespects your time with predatory monetization, if a workplace is toxic from day one, And more importantly, if something collides with your values, walk away. It all comes down to this. The point isn't to suffer longer, it's to give good things a fair shot. I believe all of this keeps you humble, keeps you real, gives you a clearer vision into the fact that there are two sides to every coin. I'm starting this channel to share ideas I believe have value. If this resonated with you in any way, a like and a subscription means a lot, and it helps me keep going. So, if you're on the fence about a game, try the 10-run rule. If you're wrestling with a tool, a habit, or a practice, try the 3-3-3 rule. And if you do, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. I'll definitely read them. I'm also thinking about streaming on Thursday evenings, EST, to play and speak my mind, so hopefully I'll see you there. Keep this in mind. Grit gets you into the arena. Taking your time, giving it a fair shot, lets the arena have meaning. Thank you for listening. I'll see you on the next one.